Hey beauties, and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Riri, and today's video is going to be all about a full face of Believe Beauty. Okay beauties, so before we dive on in to this full face of Believe Beauty, don't forget to subscribe down below and tap that notification bell so you will be notified when I upload any future videos. Also, thank you for being here. So a couple months ago, I did the first impressions and like a little bit of a wear test of the Believe Beauty Foundation, and I really enjoyed it. The only thing, and I'll say it again, I'll also link that video as well. It is slightly drying if you have more dry skin. So just use a hydrating primer or maybe use kind of a more dewy, luminous setting spray, and I think you'll be good to go. But if you're unfamiliar with Believe Beauty, it is a Dollar General exclusive brand, but you can only get it in the store. And this foundation is $5. Everything in their entire line is under $5. And I think I have everything other than a primer and a mascara. So everything else we have. I'm going to probably speed through the foundation and stuff like that only because obviously I've already done a review on it and know that I like it. It is probably going to be a little light on me, but we can always bronze up the skin. I'm going to finish out finally this little base tape from Tarte. I really enjoy this one. It's super light on the skin, especially for the summertime. I really enjoy it. It smells amazing. The texture feels really nice. And of course, it's really hydrating, which, you know, mama needs, okay? I am all about anything that is glowy, dewy, luminous, hydrating. I was really weirded out about this. I think I tried this in a first impressions maybe a year ago. Oh, it smells so amazing. It smells like coconut, but like a fresh, yummy coconut, not like a weird chemical scent coconut, you know? But I was kind of wigged out about it a year ago when I tried it, or whenever it was, because it was so thin, but then I also really liked it because it was so thin. And as you can see, even with just that, it really does give some beautiful hydration to the skin. So we're gonna do our foundation real quick, and I'll speed this part up, and then we'll get into the rest of the face. All right, so we have both sides done. I am going to just very lightly dust, only because it's hotter than a hose ass outside. I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish, and it is the shade 2 Medium. I've really been loving this powder a lot. I use it every time I do my makeup now. It's super, super soft, has a good amount of pigment to it, but then it's like, it's not too heavy. I don't feel like it's super, super, super matte or super heavy or cakey or anything like that. And again, I'm just going to very lightly set the face, because this is all about Believe Beauty today, okay? I do love the fact that everything in the line is $5 or less, and it is a cruelty-free brand too. I know so many of you are concerned with that, so it is also a cruelty-free brand. And let's make sure we're straight. Hopefully I'm straight. If y'all haven't heard this before, I can't see myself. I just hit play or hit record or whatever I'm doing and just pray to the makeup gods above. Okay, I'm going to slap on a quick brow, and then we're going to get into the rest of the makeup. I am just going in with my Urban Decay Brow Blade in Brunette Betty, and then I'm going to set it with my Benefit 24-Hour Brow Set. Y'all have seen this a million times, so I will be RB. Alright beauties, I am back and we have brows on. Every time I say I'm back with brows, or back and the word brows together, I think about Manny, where he's like, I'm back in the brows are filled, I'm back in the brows are filled. I freaking love him. He's so amazing. So next up, I'm just going to go with my MAC Paint Pot Soft Ochre. Do this every single time for any type of eyeshadow application. I've had good luck and bad luck. with drugstore or very inexpensive eyeshadows. So we're gonna see. I'm really excited to try this though. I really do like to showcase, obviously, indie brands on my channel, but also, you know, I'm all for saving some money, okay? That's why I always kind of, you know, put across, like, use points, save up your points, shop when, like, you know, Ulta has sales and, like, the 21 days of Ulta or the VIB sale at, you know, Sephora, things like that. So here's my little bag of goodies. Again, they're only available at the Dollar General. So I'm going to get everything out. I do have a little smudger brush. I have an eyeshadow palette, which is freaking gorgeous. I hope that it works beautifully. I hope. I also had this gorgeous little palette. It is the Get Glowing Highlight and Contour Palette. I also got this beautiful blush, which hopefully will work because I set my face because I forgot I had a cream blush. This is the Color Me Cream Blush in Tropical Sunset. Y'all know I'm all for a apricot-y, peachy, orangey blush. I'm ready, y'all. And then I also got the Velvet Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Foxy. And even this, like, the attention to detail with their stuff is just so beautiful. I love the foundation. Again, definitely make sure you're, you know, moisturized, hydrated, all that stuff. And because I do not have a mascara for Believe Beauty, I'll be going in with my Essence / Princess. This is also a very, very affordable, kind of more drugstore price brand, so I'll go in with that. So we are going to dive on in. This is the eyeshadow palette in the shade Love Struck, and that is what it looks like. And let's get her open. Again, this is going to be a complete first impression with all of this stuff as well. I do like the foundation, and I do, you know, recommend the foundation. So let's see how this goes. All right. I will say that, I mean, it feels like a $5 palette. You know, it's very inexpensive, very cheap feeling. So I do want to swatch a few. This one is more of a metallic / satin. This one is a more chunky metallic with like glitter particle, and then this is a satin. There are no shade names that I can see, which I know I'm blind. So you have this one right here. That's more of like the, I mean, it's metallic, but to me it kind of has like a more satin quality. This one's a metallic with a little bit of a kind of thicker chunk to it, and then this one right here, and then we'll put them on the hand. That one you're probably not gonna be able to see too much, sorry. All right, so that is what we're working with. I think honestly just gonna go straight into this shade right here, like it's just calling my name. And I'm gonna go in lots of kickback. That doesn't bother me, but it is substantial. And I'm like barely tapping and a lot comes off. Can you focus, boo? Hello, focus. And I'm just going in with my Hank and Henry. This is the Dell brush. Whoa! I was not expecting that. Wow. But you guys know, I've said this a million times, fallout, you know, kickback, things like that. The only thing that means, guys, typically is that it's just pressed a little softer. I don't know why people freak out about fallout. I mean, yeah, I guess it could kind of waste your product, but literally, unless you're digging into this every single day, it's still going to last you a while. So I'm literally just going straight in. I want to lay this down pretty heavily, just on the outer corner, or outer half, I guess. It is definitely pigmented. I don't smell anything at all. And again, kickback does not typically bother me at all. Now, if there was kickback like crazy and it was soft pressed and stuff like that, but then led to no pigment whatsoever, or became very muddy, or kind of disappeared on the lids, like some shadows I've tried, then I would be upset by it. But kickback, you guys, it's just pressed a little softer. That's all. Okay, I really like this color a lot. Especially if you have blue or green eyes. These beautiful, like, kind of plummy berry shades, any kind of rust shades, oranges, they look absolutely divine, darling. Okay, yeah, that's beautiful. I'm just kind of rounding out the eye. Normally I pull everything out. I've been kind of going for like a softer, I mean, always still soft and diffused for me, but I've been kind of just rounding it out a little bit more than I kind of typically do. So now trying to build it up some. I'm trying to layer a little bit. Yeah, it looks really pretty. It's blending out nicely. I'm gonna go into this kind of really neutrally little kind of taupey shade right here. Very softly, again, just barely tapping it. You do get quite a bit of kickback, just to let you guys know. And I'm just gonna use this just to help me blend this out a little bit more. Not really expecting much pigment from this one. I'm literally like barely tapping my brush. So, how is everybody? My last couple videos, I'm just going into a huge little e.l.f. brush, huge and little. A huge eyeshadow brush from e.l.f. I think it's actually like a concealer brush. Yeah, it's the e.l.f. concealer brush, but I use it on my eyes so I can blend everything out. Because it's, you know, really, really big, but it's super soft and super fluffy, so it diffuses shadow really well. And it just started thundering. My bad, y'all. This might be a shit show. But anyways, so my last few videos, of course, have been more like sped up, music behind them. So I like to kind of mix it up, of course. I like to do some long videos, some short videos, you know, some talking videos so we can catch up. So hopefully everybody is well. You guys know I do have depression and anxiety, and shit has just been a little bit rough, okay? Especially recently because our air has been going out, and this has been off and on for about 2 weeks. And I mean, even if I wasn't a big girl, y'all, it's hot, okay? So when it's hot and you don't have AC, it's really fucking frustrating. And, you know, it kind of just puts a strain. It puts a strain on us all, you know, in the household as a family. And it's a lot. You know, when you're already in pain, you're already irritated, and your anxiety and shit's already kind of like, bitch, what's going on? I'm noticing, I don't know if it's the way that I put the other shadow on. I'll try to get super close. Right there. And it could also be, I mean, I do have a lot of texture and wrinkling on my lids, but I do see it there, not here. Don't really like that much. And I don't want to put too much pink up here because it might be too much. Yeah, there's just like nothing sticking there. Maybe I didn't do enough primer right there. So yeah, shit's just, you know, it's been crazy. Although I will say, I'm also kind of finding my stride again. Thank you, God. Because it's been a little bit of a hot mess around here, y'all. I'm going in with this really pretty shade right here. Ooh, that's really beautiful. That's what that looks like. So I'm gonna go in with that and put that kind of on the inner portion. And this is more of a, like a satin head. Definitely doesn't have like a shimmer to it, but it is more of a satin-like quality to it. And of course it would freaking torrential downpour when I'm filming. But yeah, so I'm trying to make some of my videos. I know I'm all over the place. I'm trying to make some of my videos. I like to do somewhere I can talk and we can catch up, bullshit with each other. And then, you know, some short videos, some long videos. I do have a full face of Tarte coming. I do still have my J Kissa and e.l.f. if anyone actually still wants to see that, because, you know, I'm always late to the party. Okay. And then I have a really cool, like, crazy avant-garde look planned, so I'm really excited for that. Also, if you guys ever have any suggestions, please let me know. I also have a clothing, not necessarily try on because I know how Rue 21 clothes fit me, but a clothing haul. And I let Caleb pick my clothes, y'all, and he ordered them, so I'm a little scared, a little freaked out. So I'm gonna go in with a brush and just get off any little bit of fallout that I may have. And then I also am gonna wipe my brush off a little bit to where I don't have too much. I normally don't like coming this high with a darker shade, but it just was not blending well. But again, there's no product on the brush. I'm just using the brush to kind of blend these two shades together. The shade, this one, I'm gonna go with my finger too. It definitely didn't, yeah. It's not as impactful as I maybe was hoping for it to be. It's there. It feels nice. The texture feels really nice and really satiny and smooth. I'm not gonna count her out yet. All right, so I am now gonna go in with the Believe Beauty Smudger brush. Again, really beautiful packaging. I really do think they nailed the packaging. I think it's very aesthetically pleasing. I will say it feels very hard. You could probably actually hear how hard it is. Hopefully, oh yeah, I was on a frame. Sorry guys. But yeah, it feels pretty firm. I'm kind of scared to put it on my eyeballs. But I'm gonna go back into the pink. Yeah, it's a little hard. It's a little stiff. Faux show. Let me get a little mirror. Which I will say, I try to wash my brushes typically before I use them. So maybe kind of washing it would soften it up some, but it is very, very stiff. It looks, I mean, the look is really pretty though. That orange, not exactly as pigmented as I would have liked. I do like the more pink shade. I think it's really beautiful. I think that little patchy part is maybe just, I didn't put enough, you know, of the paint pot there. Because the pink, I mean, it's very, very pigmented. It's going on really, really beautifully. Nice and opaque, but also buildable. Yeah, I mean, it's not the best. I'm actually going to take this little sponge. There's no product on it. I'm just going to kind of soften this up a little tiny bit. I feel like it got away from me. That's a little better. All right, I'm going to try out the metallic shade. We're going to see how it goes. I'm just going to use my finger. It's just a really pretty champagne-y shade right here. And, oh, okay, now that's really pretty. Not quite as blinding as I would typically like, but pretty effective. It's still nice. And I'm putting that all the way across. And then I think I'm going to go with the glitter shade also. And put that right on top too. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I honestly, I don't know exactly how much this was. I don't remember. Obviously everything's under $5. This is really pretty. I mean, I would use it again. I think it's really pretty. We'll see how the staying power is, but honestly, for $3 you can do an e.l.f. palette. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. It's effective. It's doing what it's supposed to do. I think the two of them together is a little bit more impactful, which I actually like that a little better. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's definitely, it's not the best. Not the best in the whole wide world. I do want to swatch this more pinky shade, the darker, more foiled pink shade. And that's what that looks like. Okay, so we're going to put that to the side. I think I'm satisfied. It's okay. Is it a look that I would wear out? Yes. You know what I mean? It's cute. Is it the best thing I've ever used? No. So now we're going to open up the Get Glowing Highlight and Contour Palette. And that is what that looks like. And let's get this opened up. I mean, I definitely think, especially if someone's kind of just starting out with makeup, you know, why not? And it's not bad. It's definitely not bad quality at all. I think it still looks really pretty. It did blend out well and all that, so. All right. I'm gonna smell it, of course. Yeah, no heavy scent or anything like that. And it's got more of a contour shade, your blushy shade, which I feel like has a slight luminosity to it. And then this highlight shade, honestly, looks almost exactly the same as this. Well, maybe not. This is kind of more goldy. So we'll swatch these. That might be really light. They feel kind of chunky. Okay. So that is your contour, your blush, and the highlight. And then we'll see what they look like on the... Let me get close. And hopefully I'm in frame. If I'm not, I'm very sorry. Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna be fair. Dang it. I'm gonna use my little Judy brush and we'll go in. Again, I'm barely tapping, you guys. And there is massive kickback. Again, doesn't always bother me. Actually, doesn't bother me at all, as long as the product performs. Although I do get that it can, you know, take up your product and use way too much product up on you. I actually did not think this was going to show up on my skin that much, but she's there. She's there, y'all. And it's actually really pigmented and pretty. Okay. Again, you're going to use a lot of it, but, you know, for under $5, even if you have to buy one a month, it's still not, you know, that's not expensive. Huh. All right. I actually like that. We'll see if it actually stays on the skin and lasts on the skin. That is the true test for me. Staying power is huge for me for makeup, you guys. Huge. And I'm going to go into my little blush brush. This is actually a Luxie Precision Foundation brush, but I love it for blush. It just makes it super soft and super diffused. Again, I mean, I'm barely tapping, and there's a lot. So I always start, I kind of load up my brush, like set most of the product kind of here first and kind of get most of the product off the brush, and then slowly kind of start going up. And then at last little residual blush that I have on my brush, I like to take it across here. I've done that forever. I really love it. I like that it's now a trend. I don't know why people slept on blush so much. Like blush it just wakes you up. It looks so beautiful. I don't recommend blowing on your product, even if it's your own product, but I have to because there's so much powder on this shade. I don't want that to get in my highlight. Okay, so I'm gonna spray my face as I always do at this point, and we're gonna try the highlight out. Ugh, I love the spray so much. It is the Anastasia Dewy Set. Woo! Thank you, Debbie and Anya. So I always do this. This, first of all, can refresh your makeup, make it look really beautiful. It could be any kind of setting spray you have. It also makes sure that all the makeup is, nothing looks powdery, nothing looks thick or cakey or heavy. Everything sinks into the skin as opposed to sitting on top of the skin, if that makes any sense at all. And then we are going to go in with a little brush. This is a Morphe R36. It can be any brush you want. Okay, no fallout at all, pretty much, in the highlight. So let's try her out. Oh, okay, that's pretty. It kind of looks like it has a little bit of glitters in it, which I don't like. Yeah, I don't like the glittery aspect of it, but it's really beautiful. I do like the color, and it's pretty damn blinding, and I'm barely going in. I think so far, other than it being a little bit chunky, I think this is my favorite product. Aside from the foundation, the foundation is a beautiful foundation, especially if you have normal to oily skin. Yeah, that's beautiful. All right, honey. Oh, I might have gone a little good. Lord, honey. Yeah, that's really pretty. I like it. All right, so I always spray again. And of course, there is no wrong way to makeup or beauty. You do what feels comfortable for you. Do what makes you feel your own best beautiful. Okay. That is why that is my saying. That is why that is my mantra. There is no wrong way. You know, no matter your age, your sex, your color, how big or small you are, how rich or poor you are, be your own best beautiful. Be your most authentic self. I actually really, now that everything's kind of coming together, I'm really liking it. Hopefully this lasts, you know, well. And of course I will try it again too. So far so good. I'm on the fence. I think it's pretty, but could be a little bit better. So far, pretty good. I'm going to say it's pretty good. Would I just jump out and go buy it? Just, you know what I mean? Am I going to repurchase everything? No. The foundation, yes. And actually the highlighter and the bronzer, I'm very shocked by. I like it. I know I have a ton of powders on, but I did want to see kind of just the shade, I guess, of the Color Me Cream Blush in Tropical Sunset. And it is a beautiful, oh, I hope that's not that dark on the cheeks. It's a beautiful peachy terracotta shade. With cream product, I like to put it on the back of my hand first and warm it up. Don't forget your fingers and stuff, y'all, they are your best tools, okay? So I like to let it warm up just a little bit, and I'm going to go right back in with that same brush. I'm just going to wipe it off. I'm going to come in and pick up a little bit. Ooh, okay. And then I kind of press it into the cheeks. Again, you would have done this prior to, ooh, you know, prior to setting everything with any kind of powders. But I just kind of want to see the shade to it and see how comfortable it is, see if it feels heavy. That's really pretty. I do want to smell it. Oh, I don't like how that smells. I don't typically go in with just my finger because it kind of sticks sometimes. That's the thing about a cream product, is they typically will set down a little bit, and you kind of want to work with them prior to that setting down, if you know what I mean. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna use this again. I do like the color. It freaking stinks. It definitely smells cheap, like chemicals. Ooh, I like it though. I like it a lot. And it actually laid over everything pretty well too, which I'm very, very shocked by. I just don't like that this little section here got a little bit patchy. Aside from that, I like everything. I'm actually gonna go back into the eyeshadow palette. It's kind of hard to open for me too. So if you have any dexterity issues, I mean, I'm having a little bit of a hard time. I maybe wouldn't recommend it. Okay, so I'm gonna go back into this shade right here with a little tiny pencil brush. And honestly, I mean, I think if you wet this, maybe it would be a little bit better. But still really pretty. Okay. And then we'll pop that on the inner corner. Okay, so this definitely has laid better by itself, so I would probably recommend to wet it, you know, as opposed to laying it across here. I definitely feel like it's more effective this way. Yeah, that's way more effective. That's really pretty there. All right, do I change my mind about this? I definitely have to try it again. I definitely think for the price, it's worth it. I do like the color story in here as well. I think it's a really beautiful kind of choice of colors. All right, I ain't mad at it, y'all. I think it's creating a really pretty look. I'm not having any reactions to anything. Aside from the blush kind of smelling a little chemically, which I don't care for much. And I will say on my hand, it is actually dried down completely matte, and there's no wetness to it. There is no creaminess to it at all. Like it completely dried down. So I really do love that. I love this color. I want to do like a super deep bronzy, summery, smoky eye, and then do the pop of the peach. Oh, that'd be so pretty. Okay. And then I'm going to go in with the Essence Lash Princess Mascara. I have the one that has the curved wand on it. And just do a little coat of mascara. Okay. Now, we're going to try out the lipstick. This is the Believe Beauty Velvet Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Foxy. And then we will shake it up and get this dang sticker off of here. And I always do that. I always shake up, you know, concealers, liquid lipsticks, things like that. Oh, the doe foot's very cool. Man, I don't like the scent. I don't like the scent of this or the blush. They're very, very strong, very chemically. But, ooh, okay. The color's nice and it feels good. That feels very, very comfortable on the lips. Y'all hear my dog and my son trying to mess with me, right? Very comfortable. It kind of has that cool little slip to it that I talk about with Rebel Rouge Labs or with like Lime Crime, Dose of Colors, how they almost feel like they have a little bit of an oil in them. Look, if you're going to interrupt me, you better come say hi.
The guy came, guys.
I know, I saw him pull it. But it kind of feels like it has that really nice oil in it at first, and then it just feels creamy. It has like a little bit of a slip upon first application, and then it sets down. Those are the types of matte liquid lipsticks I like, even if it smells like ass. This is really pretty. I like the color. The opacity is really nice. And I like the wand too. All right. Okay, I like it. We'll see how it sets down because it's actually still wet. It's not dried yet. Velvet matte, yeah. It stinks. I'm trying to actually see where this is from. This says made in the USA. The blush is made in Taiwan. The palette, the contour palette, is made in Taiwan. This palette is made in Taiwan. I thought they were a Germany made because the foundation is made in Germany. Am I the only one that thought that? Probably. All right, so final thoughts. Let me get close and we'll take an up close peek. Yeah, okay, so I think overall, especially considering everything is literally under $5, I feel like the eyeshadow, I feel like you're going to use a lot, but for under $5, does that bother me personally? No. It did, again, get slightly kind of patchy right here. I think that may have been me. You know, maybe I didn't prep enough right through that area, put too much, too little, whatever the case may be. I like the color story of the palette. I think it's a beautiful combination of colors. They do look pretty on the skin. We'll see how long it lasts. I will pin a comment, of course. The highlight is bomb. The highlight is really, really beautiful. The blush, I love how it looks on the skin. It looks so beautiful. I love the shade, but it don't smell good, okay? And the lipstick does not smell good either. Very heavy, you know, chemical fragrance to both. So if that's something that deters you, that's something that you don't like, I would honestly not recommend either of those. I like both palettes. I think they're super good. I think especially for the price point, I think especially, you know, if you want to travel with these, gift, you know, your new beauty to makeup, something that's affordable but also effective. I mean, they work. Everything works. I think the look overall is beautiful. The highlight I love. I really do think that this is probably the star of the show today. Aside from the foundation. And again, if you have dry skin, honestly, you can see I still have some luminosity to my skin because of the setting spray and because of my primer. But for $5 and less, if you can get past the smell and you are okay with heavy fallout and stuff like that, I say go for it. I say that they worked beautifully. Nothing irritated my skin or my eyes. Nothing feels heavy. Nothing, you know, nothing feels like it's itchy or anything like that. So yeah, and I mean, I like the look. I like the look a lot. I would definitely leave my house looking just like this. So that is it. Thank you, beauty, so much for joining me. I'm sorry that there were so many interruptions. But yeah, I think overall, I really do like it. Overall, I'm going to give it 3.5 yellow hearts. If the scent was a little different and there wasn't quite as much kickback, which normally doesn't bother me, but it was very, very heavy in every single product. So yeah, I think 3.5 to 4 yellow hearts. I'll be generous with it, because the look itself pulled together beautifully. Again, if you do not like heavily scented products, and I don't mean like perfumed, it definitely smells like chemicals. If that is something that turns you off to makeup, don't buy these. So let me know what you guys think. Have you tried Believe Beauty? Please let me know your thoughts and stuff down below as well, and be your own best beautiful. Bye, beauties!